Welcome to Subramani. This is a video on why I quit most of the running and cycling groups. What happens is when you are running and you do a particular race in a particular time. So let's say I do a half marathon in 2 hours 30 minutes. Then there are a few people in your cluster. Somebody would have done 220, somebody would have done 240, and you form a cluster, and within that you create benchmarks, and you feel the next time around that 240 guy does it and 232, and you who were at 230 go to 235. Then there is a lot of grief. Everybody comes and says, what happened? Did you not drink enough water? Did you cramp? Did you not eat well? Did you not train well? Right? A lot of post-mortem is done whether you want it done or no. And then every run that you do together, you are judged. I may not want to judge myself, but in a group judging happens, and then some coach or somebody says you do this and you do this and you do that, and so the recreational running is over. After that you almost become like a professional runner. You're saying how much of hydration, what dress should I wear, which watch should I buy, what kind of dress should I wear for it, and all those kind of analysis. And almost all the fun goes out of running or cycling. Now, cut to investing. Can you imagine being in a group of investors, which many people do? I will never do that. And sit and keep wondering what went wrong, what you did, and things like that. There is a constant comparison with the others as to what you have done, and I think that is atrocious. It's like putting any relationship or anything in the public domain for everybody to analyze and everybody giving you advice. Oh my God, why did you buy Paytm? When did you buy? Oh, you're in the money. I think you should sell. Nothing is going to happen there. Oh, Reliance Power, why did you buy? I mean, that group has never made money for you as a shareholder. Why would you buy it? Why did you buy this company? Why did you buy that company? Sometimes in a group that discussion helps, but 90% of the time, or maybe 99% of the time, that discussion is not very useful. So completely silently compounding your money without discussing it with anybody is much better than being in the public eye and constantly comparing yourself, putting it on social media, saying I bought this at this price, I made so much money. Once in a while a story is okay, but constantly to do that and be evaluated, and when things go wrong, be trolled, right? Is it worth doing all that? Is it worth doing a public display of your portfolio? I don't know, because I keep getting portfolios and I keep saying, look, I'm not an RIA, I cannot give you advice, but people still send some, oh, this is my uncle's portfolio, he has died, my aunt does not know what to do, my cousins don't know what to do, they're thinking of selling off the whole thing, what should be done? Now, these are all portfolios built by common men who may have died at the age of 70 or 75 or 80, whatever. But their portfolios would have been neglected. So you look at a portfolio, you know it has been neglected for 3 years. He may have died in 2024, but he may have ignored his portfolio from 2019 or 2020. That's fine by me. It does not really matter, because many people have created wealth by simply compounding their money and not constantly comparing themselves with somebody or showing it to a relationship manager who says, no, you got too much of Wipro, sell it off, you got too much of Larsen and Toubro, sell it off. In fact, when I look at these portfolios, I realize that silent compounding has happened in a few shares. Okay, 30 years back or 20 years back, he may have bought an ITC, HUL, Nestle, something like that. That would have done extremely well, would have paid him or her good dividends, but there would have been others duds in the portfolio. So what happened was, the person who invested bought it when he was maybe 55. and today he's dead at 80, but he's got 25 years of compounding, out of which maybe last 5 years was unintended compounding, because he was not even looking at his portfolio. He had dementia, he had some problem, physical, mental, whatever. He was not looking, and or was not capable of looking, and the children were also not looking at the portfolio. What really happened in that period is some share of his which he held for a very long period of time, which gave very boring returns for long periods. Could be a HUL, could be a Reliance, could be Wipro, anything which had 10-year periods of giving no returns except the dividends and a small appreciation maybe. But in the next 10 years it would have quadrupled, it would have doubled, it would have tripled. All those things would have happened, and then maybe over the next 2 years it would have doubled or tripled. Therefore, the fact that it did not perform for 10 years or 7 years or 6 years wouldn't have mattered. So putting yourself in the public eye and showing what portfolio you have, what you're doing, causes enough stress for you. Forget what the market feels. The market may think of you as an idiot, or marketer may think of you as a genius, right? So the question to ask is my portfolio for myself, or am I answerable with this portfolio to the whole world? Look, if I manage my own money, I am answerable only to my immediate family for whom I am saving stroke investing, right? I am not answerable even to my siblings if I am not managing their money. I am answerable to people whose money I am managing. If I am managing my mother's money, technically speaking, I am answerable for that. But what actually happens is, you manage your own money, but you go on to social media and start putting, saying I bought this, and Paytm has done very well after I bought it at 340, or Zomato has done very well after I bought it at 47 or 50, and now it is 300, right? So you talk about those things, and you don't talk about maybe a Sadbhav Engineering which you bought at 220, which is today perhaps at 35, 40, whatever. I have not tracked that company, but that kind of a fall also you have seen. So you have seen all those kind of things happening. And when you post saying I bought this at 230 and it is now at 30 rupees or 40 rupees, the question is, where are your rules? What do you do? So somebody will say, oh, you should have sold it off at 220, you should have sold it off at 200, right? If you had rules, if you have had an investment philosophy statement, you would have said, okay, 10% fall and I will exit, or 20% fall and I will exit, because this is a trading call, not an investment call, so I will not average. Or you say, oh, it's an investment call where I went wrong with the timing, therefore I will average. But whatever it is between you and your portfolio. It is not necessary to have this in the public eye. So your money will compound. So when I look at some of these portfolios which have been held for 20-25 years, yes, there would be 3, 4, 5 shares which have done extremely well, but they have more than compensated for the other 35 shares which have done nothing, right? Or you see shares like Oriental Power Cables and Orkay and Shan Interval and Indiana Dairy, Pateja Forging, you just don't see them. They're not there, they're not listed, they've gone kaput, right? So when you post such things, people will say, oh, you should have been more careful, you stay in Bombay, you should have paid more attention, etc., etc. And this can be demoralizing and perhaps nerve-wracking for a novice. For somebody like me, I don't even look at the comments on, there would be somebody who would come and say, oh, you can say if you had Wipro, what would have happened, but you didn't have. And if I needed money, I would have sold it, or things like that, which doesn't really matter. What matters is, over long periods of time, good portfolios give good returns. Simple, as simple as that. Do you need to go and compare it with your neighbor, with your friend, with your classmate? Answer is no. Right. So, sorry, if I want to run, all I need is my running gear, my watch and my shoes. Anything other than that doesn't matter. So, do I have to be in a public place to be running so that people can say, wow, you ran very well, or oh my God, what went wrong, right? So, do you need to be in the public space, whether it is running, cycling or investing? Answer is no. Compounding works very well. Compounding works on a single share, works on a portfolio, works everywhere. If you are not going to pay attention, you're better off being with a mutual fund. And if you're not even going to pay attention to what the fund manager is doing, you're much better off being in the index. Index will compound. You don't have to talk to anybody about it. More importantly, index is dull, boring, compounding, exactly like nature, right? Like Morgan Housel says, nature built mountains and oceans, etc., over long periods of time without worrying or without hurrying. I think if you don't worry and don't hurry your portfolio, you will create good wealth. But the question is, do you have the patience, or will you keep comparing constantly? It's like the Jataka tale story where the monkey uproots a tree every day to see whether the roots have developed, right? As long as you don't do that, just lie low and let compounding work. As simple as that. Thank you.